Hey, what's up? Yes, I am finally back making a video. I think it's been 8 days or 7 days since the Titanpool launched, and I made that video. And I've talked about it multiple times when I have been live over those few 8 days. I've been live a few times and I've talked about it. Basically, the reason I haven't been making very many videos is just because there hasn't been too much in the contest that like interests me to make a video, if that makes sense. And I don't want to make slop on this channel. I want it to be fun. I really did feel like when I was daily uploading, some of those videos were kind of sloppy and they weren't my best work. And I don't want to bore you guys because also if I upload every single day, it's hard to stay caught up with the channel. But yeah, enough excuses. I've kind of been lazy too. MCOC so far has been kind of lacking content, which they have a break month. They've had like 4 or 5 months in a row. Kabam has that have just been jam packed with content. It feels like the beginning of the year there's so much content. So I do understand why they did have the break month last month, which there still was a lot of content. I just didn't find streaming it or anything like that fun. I just kind of wanted to like lock in and do it. But that being said, the title of this video and the reason you are here, also, I'm going to turn off my stream overlay while I'm thinking about it, but the reason you all are here is I'm going to be going over the new towers. So yesterday, the new game mode, if you were not aware, a new permanent game mode that is going to be here forever in MCOC, such as like arenas, story content, battlegrounds, all that stuff, it's here forever. This game mode is also here forever. It is called Towers. It launched yesterday. I had a live stream up. We basically just did the Saga Tower, and we did a little bit of these towers. I have since just grinded off stream. But yeah, so if you just go in your main menu, it should just be right here, Towers. It's just going to be a permanent game mode, which I'll probably end up sticking over here to make it fit better. But enough yapping. I just kind of wanted to give my honest thoughts. So, for being honest, a lot of people in the contest haven't hated this. I wouldn't say it's been hate. I just think they were kind of underwhelmed and they find it mid. Me personally, I don't think it's there. I think I actually quite like it. I do understand why a lot of people do find it mid. Um, and there are certain aspects that I do find kind of boring and lacking. But that being said, we only have two towers out and one Saga Tower, which, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go ahead and talk about the Saga Tower first. So, I just talked about how everything was permanent. The Saga Tower basically took, I don't know why I can't access it. Uh, I guess I can't access it because I already got it done. I got it all done yesterday on stream. But basically, if you remember the Alliance Wars showcase event that happens like every couple of months, it's basically at the end of every. I don't know if it's every Alliance War season or every like meta. I think it's every meta. That's why it happens every couple months. But this is where they're going to do that now in the towers. And if you go back and watch my live stream, I really did like that. I really did like that idea of doing towers or the Alliance War event that way. It was very fun. It was kind of difficult in some aspects, but I just felt like it was very rewarding. That being said, um, I don't know why I can't exit. It's kind of throwing me off. But these are what are permanent. These class towers. There will be 6 of them. Right now, they've launched 2. They didn't want to throw everything at us all at once. They're spreading this out over the coming weeks. And each week, for the next 2 weeks, there will be a new set of 2 different classes. So next week, for example, would be like Science and Mutant, and the week after that would be Mystic and Cosmic. I don't know if that's actually how it's going to be. I can't remember. But yeah, that's kind of the meat and potatoes of towers. So I kind of wanted to get into what my real opinion is on it. So I talked about in the beginning of this video how people kind of find it underwhelming, and me personally, I actually kind of like it. I do really like it. It's just kind of a weird game mode to make content on and stream. The thing with Towers is right now it's brand new, fresh, so it's easy content. I don't know if a month down the road if you're going to be seeing very many Tower streams because people are kind of gonna get to the point where they're going to be locked at a certain tower level and they can't get any higher. So there's not going to be much for them to grind per se. It's almost like arenas. When you max out the arena, you don't keep playing it unless you want that champ. But nowadays, 6 stars are so irrelevant. Not very many people do that anymore. But but it would almost be like an arena stream where a lot of it is just yapping to your viewers and you're not really focused on the gameplay, which I personally am perfectly fine with. I love those type of streams. I love talking to you guys. Um, I just think Towers is like a glorified arena. You don't get units in here, but I had a take yesterday, and Kabam probably has not thought of this at all, and this is probably crazy, but I think in like a year or two, I could see arenas getting completely wiped out, and they move arenas into a tower style format where there'll be a separate tower with all the limited time champions and all this and all that, and that's how you get you units. Because Towers is such a grindy game mode, I don't know why they would have two in the same game. So that's where I think Towers is going to go in the future. That's where I think the longevity of Towers is going to go. I think Arenas is going to get wiped off the face of the planet in a year or two, because it just hasn't got much love in so long. Which Arenas are pretty. They're not fun. They're just easy, and they just take a lot of grinding, but they're the best way to get units in the game. So I do think they're going to add an Arena Tower in the future. But yeah. So the basic concept of towers, we have not yet talked about it. We're 6 minutes into this video. Is you just go in, you have a certain amount of fights, you just clear all those fights, and you complete one block. So far, I think I started at block 61, and I'm on 72. So I've completed 11 blocks. I will say they take a long time. Each fight, on average, is about 30 to 45 seconds once you get deep into your towers like I am, and even deeper, it could almost last in that minute. Me personally, I would say a good rough estimate is 20 to 40 seconds is where my fight times are. So just times that by 16, that's a lot of time for just one block. And this one block, theoretically, is going to give me crap rewards. Like, I'm getting a 10th of a 7-star hero crystal. So I think people are looking at the rewards and they're thinking, man, these rewards are absolutely terrible. But if you really think about it, I've completed 12 or 11 blocks in the past day, and I haven't even been like putting my head down and grinding it. I've just been doing it for fun. That's a 7-star crystal right there. I've got a lot of rank up resources for free as well, just by putting my head down and basically grinding and not even sweating. The thing with towers is you're not going to see the bulk of the rewards right off the bat. It's not like the Saga Showcase Tower where we got a 2 to 3 gem, a 1 to 2 gem, a bunch of 6-star gems just right off the bat. We didn't get hardly any of that in this, but the more you play, the more you progress your roster, the more the rewards will get better and better and better. Yesterday when I was watching Seaton, the further he was going in, he was like at the highest tower rating I've seen yesterday, and he was getting 7-star rank up gems for clearing a block. That is very, very good rewards. It does take a lot of grinding, but I don't think people realize this game mode is meant to be permanent. If this game mode had just absolutely bonkers rewards right off the bat, and they're just bonkers throughout the whole game mode, that would ruin the economy of the game. So I do think the class towers are meant to be kind of lame and boring, because this is kind of their warm-up. This is like their season 0 of towers. They're kind of testing it out, seeing what players like, seeing what players don't like, so they can have more special tower events like the Saga Showcase or new realm events or something like that. Because I believe towers is going to be a new way to play the game and a new way to have events. I really do think towers, the reason they launched towers is not for these class towers. Kind of like how I see collectives. That's how my opinion was on collectives. The class collectives are very great, but they did these things because they wanted to start an idea. They wanted to test it out with just the basic concept in the game. There are 6 classes, so let's have 6 different versions of that. So they could kind of see what the player base thinks and how they basically play around that or play with that, so they can launch new events in the future. Like, I could definitely see in a year or so a tower being involved with like some type of event, like maybe it's banquet in some way or some form, just something like that. Like, I don't think towers were meant to be crazy on launch, just because this is their warm-up. This is how they're testing it, so they can make newer and better towers. And if they aren't, then I do kind of agree with the community that this is going to be lame. But I highly doubt they make this brand new game mode and they don't have anything planned for it in the future. Now, that being said, I'm talking like a year, maybe a year and a half in advance for new towers to come out. So far, they've announced the Saga Showcase Tower that'll be happening every couple months, so we know that, but they haven't announced any other towers. So I do believe towers right now it can be seen as very lame and very boring and not worth it. But just like everything in the contest, which I've learned to kind of go with the flow with Kabam. I'm not saying Kabam is perfect. I'm not trying to claim Kabam is the best thing since sliced bread. There is a lot of stuff that happens, and it is Kabam's fault. And they do some things very poorly. There are certain things they've done in the past that are very poorly, and some people can't hate Kabam for that, and they're really not the wrong for it. But I do, just like 7-Star Ascension, I was so critical at the beginning, and now I kind of love 7-Star Ascension. I do still hold the take that I have no idea how we're going to have rank 3 and rank 4 as Ascensions, but that's just something I got to have trust in Kabam. They know what they're doing, because now 7-Star Ascension is very fun in my opinion. I love Ascension. Back in the day, I absolutely hated the idea. So this is kind of my take on class towers and towers in general. I do think they're very, very boring right now. Like right now I'm having fun, but once I get to the higher levels and I'm sweating and I'm just getting no rewards for doing all that grinding, then yes, I can think they're boring. And I do understand how people think they're boring, but right now I do find them kind of fun because something fresh and new. But I want everybody to like kind of come in with a open mind thinking, man, these class towers are just their season 0. They're their warm up for a brand new game mode that they're bringing to the contest that is going to last forever. If you think about it, all these game modes in the contest, minus like BGs and incursions, have been here literally for 10 years, 11 years, something like that. And they've lasted forever. So you just got to give Kabam a little hope and a little leeway because they obviously know what they're doing. This game has lasted for a very long time and is in a very good state. But yeah. Basically wrap up my take on towers. I do think towers are kind of boring. They're kind of lame right now. I personally like them. I don't think they're anything special, but I do think the future of towers is very, very bright because, for one, it's a new thing for players. Also, it's a new thing for new players to just hop in. It's another way to play the game and grind. A lot of new players don't like the story content aspect. I know my brother, when I told him to start playing this game, and he started playing, and he said the story was kind of lame. He hated going through all those cutscenes and all those quests. So this is another new way to kind of play the game. But yeah, that's just my take on it. I don't know if that helped any of you guys or changed any of your guys' opinion. I know I didn't say a lot, but I did say a lot at the same time. I'm kind of a glass half full kind of guy when it comes to stuff like this. So I do have hope in Kabam that they will make towers a great game mode of the future. I just think right now it launched just yesterday, so you got to give them time to kind of iron out the kinks and figure out what works best. But yeah, also I didn't talk about it yet, but I have big news coming up. I don't want to say anything yet. I will have a video on it soon. But yeah, big things for the channel are coming. I am so excited for it. I've worked so hard for this. So yeah, big things for the channel are coming up. Some of you guys might know what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to spoil anything. Just know champion showcases are going to be way more fun now. But yeah, I'll leave you guys with that. Question of the day. Actually, just general opinions on towers. What are your general opinions on towers? I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.